Hello, hello, everyone. This is Drew and JC here, bringing you another episode of the Watchers Digital Network. Uh, we have a really cool guest this week, and I'm not just saying it, I actually mean it this time. This is
This
going to be
time.
really cool. This is the one and only time I've ever meant it when I said it. And
Oh,
I'm going
oof.
to just kick it over to her and let her introduce herself. And then from there, we'll just have like a really cool chat, I think.
Hey, my name is Tricia Zimic, and I am an artist of many different things. I am an illustrator, first off, went to Parsons School of Design, and from there, I was an illustrator for many years, and I did classics, I did children's books, I did movie posters, and some things are more recognizable than others. And then I made two children, which was very interesting. And then after that, that went on for many years and took a break. And then when I went back into art world, I decided to be a fine artist, and that's when I got into porcelain. And I've been doing porcelain sculptures now for 20 years. And now I'm back into doing movie posters. So it's a big world.
Yeah, no. Um, I thought the porcelains that you showed us were really cool. In particular, the one that jumped out at me was, I think it was like a baboon or some kind of
Yes,
monkey.
yes, I've done
And
many of them.
I thought that one was especially cool. It was really striking. And when I had opened the file with your work in it, I was just kind of anticipating like movie posters and stuff like that. So to see that extra, the stuff there, the porcelain was cool, and then also you had right there, JC, like the gray coyote. That thing really struck me too as something that I thought, man, like dang, that's cool.
That's an etching. It's three quarters there. Let's see if we can get the whole thing there. Um, that's a close up of the etching. So if it anyway, you can even close it. Yeah, go back. Oh, there we are. Better. So yeah, it's a kind of etching. It's called a sugar lift. And the reason why I love this piece in particular is because I used a kind of brush that is a free stroke. And I like doing etchings and porcelain because you don't exactly know how things are going to come out, as opposed to my painting, you pretty much know how it's going to end up. Although I do like keeping some free space in there. But this etching was inspired by my neighbor who had a coyote run across her property, and she has many chickens. And she was going to shoot it. I don't remember what the story is. I don't know if she actually killed it, but um, I just love the idea of the coyote running through the rain.
Yeah, I really liked it. It jumped out at me. It was the first thing that I saw when I opened all of the files, and it was the thing that sat with me the longest. I thought that was like I told the story the second I saw it. It was really intriguing when I had opened them. Um,
Can,
are you
can
able to
everybody see
pull?
that okay?
Yeah, yeah, it looks good. Are
Okay.
you able to pull up the porcelain baboon thing that I had right there? I think it's right next to it.
Yeah, it's right next to the coyote. There you
Oh,
go.
baboon. For some reason, I thought that was a dragon's head because I saw the hat.
So, what
Alien.
is the process in creating something like this? Like, where do you start?
So I work with solid porcelain. It's a clay body, and I sculpt it entirely. And then with clay, you need to hollow it out, otherwise it explodes in the kiln. So I create this piece, and then I basically cut it up like Frankenstein, and I hollow it out and then reassemble it. So this piece in particular is being reproduced in mice in Germany right now and being
Hmm.
sold worldwide. So yeah, you grabbed a good piece there. And he's doing kintsugi, so he's rebuilding plates with using gold as
Yeah.
a finishing touch.
I've heard of that. That is I don't want to overstate or oversimplify this, but it's an actual art form in a lot of Eastern cultures, right? The reassembly of broken pieces.
Yes, this
So,
one's called Diligence. So he's diligently reassembling those pieces.
so you said they are hollow when you first create them. Do they remain hollow, or are they eventually filled?
No, so it's created solid. I create the whole sculpture like very much like what you see, and then I cut it up, hollow it out, and reassemble it. And then
Oh, okay, I got you.
yeah, it's reassembled. And then it's fired at 2100 degrees. So the hat was a little tricky because at such temperatures things like to move in the
Right.
kiln. So it was a challenge for Meissen to recreate it. They used a 3D printer and in part to recreate this piece. And
How big are, I mean, I obviously that's a general question. All these could be different sizes, but a piece like this, how big does that usually come in?
16 inches, 18 inches, something like that.
Right.
And
So like a foot and a half, about like
foot and a half. Yeah.
yeah,
It's bigger than the tabletop.
yeah.
So it really
Cool.
is like a sculpture as opposed to just a figurine.
Yeah. Okay. Can we scroll through it and show some other stuff before we get deep into my
Do we want
nerd
to
stuff?
stay on the sculptures for right now?
Yeah, keep going.
Oh, I don't know why it always wants to be zoomed in.
Mm-hmm. This is a pangolin that I made
Yeah.
during the pandemic because they were assumed to be the cause of the pandemic. And I just thought they were just wonderful creatures and really cool looking. And they're unfortunately used for food, and the scales are used for medicinal purposes, and they're hunted down, and they're not very fast, so they can easily capture them. And so they were captured in China and basically sold for food. But I'm trying to show how beautiful that they are. And this is a series that was called Self Heal, and he's healing himself with his tongue, making it like Kintsugi, so like the poetic way of healing itself.
Fixing itself.
Yeah. It was a challenge creating this one because it had to be cut, made whole, and then holding that piece and then sculpting it, and it was tricky.
Yeah,
Pangolins are pretty interesting because they're a mammal, but they're like one of the few mammals that have scales.
Good.
So
I like that.
Yeah, it's a very unique creature for sure, because you normally don't see that in a mix with mammals.
Right. Can you see me okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. They have breasts and everything. So yeah, I think I did another pangolin where I actually showed her breasts, which is very bizarre. I don't think it's in there. No, it's not in that one, but it's on my website. It's kind of weird.
Which is triciazimic.com.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm seeing if I can find it really quick, but
as soon as he heard breasts, he was all in.
Yeah.
Well, you could always.
I'm like, I'm in for weird animal breasts. We will now be canceled probably for that, but it's under sculptures, right?
Yes, it is on sculptures under self. It's Animalia. Yeah.
Oh wait. Oh, it's the one. Is it the one that's standing up?
Yes.
Wait, wasn't that one in here? Yeah, it's right here. This one, right?
No.
No, that's not it. No.
Nope.
No.
But she does have breasts, but that's not.
Yeah, you could tell.
There are breasts, but that's not the right one.
Okay.
That's okay. We'll keep going until I find it.
Okay.
Yeah. And then so it's not the sculptures, but something I wanted to. Oh, you got it?
Yeah, it's gonna take us. Give me a second. I have to switch between share screens here.
Okay, that's no problem. got really big.
All right. Yeah, it's okay.
Nope. Oh,
That's not it?
Wait. Nope.
What is that?
That's Luna. Oh, wait, there in the middle. There, that one. With the tail.
Right here?
To the right. One more. There, that one. There should be a different angle. Upper right.
Oh, that's why I wasn't seeing it. Yeah. Okay.
I'm impressed. Very good. Touche. You're able to get that. Wow. Yeah. That's the female version. And she's licking her back. And that's how their tongues look.
I had no idea this creature existed.
Huh? Wow. Sort of like an anteater, but different.
Yeah, with armor. An armored anteater.
Armor and boobs. Okay.
Who knew?
I'm gonna have to do some research on this thing. I've heard the word pangolin, but I had no idea that that's what it was. Let's pull up some of that Nancy Drew artwork, because something that like jumped out at me when we were looking at this stuff is like I remember seeing this in like the elementary school library, like these very images. So that was kind of
that's neat.
Yeah, like the other one in particular, I 100% definitely we had at the library.
What, the one with her swimming under, like in this?
Yeah.
There was fun to do that. It was a little bit stressful because it was the old days where there was no, of course, there was no computer, there was no, there was barely fax machine. So I'd have to like send them I don't even know how. I went in and talked to them about the sketches. So I'd give them a sketch, and then I'd be on my own. Like, and if they wanted something changed, it'd be like after the painting is done. Mostly they didn't. Mostly they were pretty good. This was Simon and Schuster, and but there was one time that I literally had to scrape the face off the board because they said, "Well, she doesn't look like Nancy Drew." We just decided that it had to be changed. So, you know, it was tricky working with them, but they paid well, and I was happy to do it for the time that I did.
How did you get the gig? Like,
it's interesting. The gig was gotten because with this particular story is, so I was as an illustrator, you have to go in and drop off your portfolio at the desk, you know, Simon & Schuster, and basically they're supposed to look at it, and then you come back the next day and you pick it up. So I was coming from Huntington, Long Island, going to New York City. It's an hour ride. And so I drop it off, I pick it up, and there's like a note inside I leave to make sure that basically it was a cover letter describing something about my work and myself. And they always, normally companies take this letter, and that way I know they actually looked at it. Well, this went on 2 or 3 times before they actually looked at it. And I finally called them up. I said, listen, I am not leaving this waiting room until somebody looks at my portfolio. So they were all in a huff. I was in a huff. I was like mad. I went in and out. It takes a long time you can imagine. Anyway, so finally they give me some art direction. She's pissed off, and I'm sitting there putting all my artwork out and into the hallway. I had everything's laid out. And then she's like just waiting for me to leave. She was just really annoyed. And then this guy walks by. His name is Paolo Pepe, and he says, "Oh, I like this. Would you be interested in doing a series? I'm looking for someone to do this." You know, he didn't tell me what it was. "Can you do a sample painting?" I'm like, you know, starving artist, of course I can. So he gave me a sample photograph of the Nancy Drew series. I did it, and basically he loved my work, and I was working with them for 2 years. You want to hear how I didn't work with them anymore? That's just
yeah, of course.
We're down. Spill the tea.
I got fired. I got fired in a most bizarre way. So I was fairly working with Nancy Drew. It's like a big deal I didn't know it was, but whatever. People found out that I was doing Nancy Drew, and it was in the Jersey Journal. And the Jersey Journal, somebody picked. Oh, and I think it was NBC picked it up, and I was all of a sudden, Eyewitness News, and they were doing an interview with me, and so they came over to the house, and it was, I guess it wasn't live, but they edited it. But I said something like, they hired me because, Nancy Drew was old fashioned, and I said she dressed like a schlep. That was it. I was fired. The next day, I was like, yeah, no, you can't call Nancy Drew a schlep. So, I mean, nowadays that they would never fire you for something like that. It's not even so much an insult. It was a compliment that, they got me and I fixed her up. I made it look nice, but anyway, fired. Not easy. Usually illustrators just get like, we're not using you anymore. But no, I was fired. So anyway.
Cancel culture before cancel culture.
Exactly.
Essentially. Yeah, that's wild. It's so interesting because, like, when you're in the arts, your job for so much of the time is finding jobs, and I can only imagine, like, that's like difficult to deal with, and I'm sure like very stressful.
Yes.
It's a lifestyle, and like that hustle culture, I think, like really originated with that kind of career.
Yes.
How did you wind up doing movie posters for Troma?
I was been trying to think. It could have been just a connection I had. I don't remember exactly how that happened, but Lloyd and I hit it off so quickly. We really got along well that we never even looked back. He's like 80 something years old, and I'm gonna have to, nail this guy down and ask him how we met. I think it was through a mutual friend. So that's how I think we, how we started working.
Yeah, I'm glad you have this pulled up. I found you because of the Troma subreddit, and I frequent there every single day because Troma is a very big part of my life, my inspiration, who I am. When I'm working on a project and the few films that I have done, you can see the influence from Troma in everything that I do.
Wow.
We are doing what is it? Sci-Fi Horror Fest in August, and we're like media people there, and Lloyd is going to be there, and he's like the one person I haven't heard back from yet about an interview. And I'm like, fingers crossed, man, that is like the interview of all interviews to me. I would love to meet him and pick his brain even for 2 minutes.
I will put in a word for you.
Oh wow. I mean, I wasn't like looking for that, but I will take it for sure.
He's fishing. That's all he's doing.
We're good. We're all good there. I was really impressed that he gave me that incredible, I don't know what you call that. Like, I guess it was a promotional. I don't know if you saw it on Instagram. It was a riot. He starts off with, he's in his own house, and he's got like these Chinese people behind him, and he goes, "Shh, be quiet. We're in the Asian society." He goes, "Those are my parents in back of me." He's just a riot. That's the thing about Lloyd. I think that's why you love Troma, because Lloyd is Troma. Okay, so everything about Troma is Lloyd's personality. So he's a jokester, and he's very creative. He's got a great sense of humor, but he's great with like coming up with puns. And like he does this like Groucho Marx. If you think of Groucho Marx and you put this guy, I mean, he's like the modern day Groucho Marx, but probably funnier because it's real. It's not like he has to put it on. When you meet this man, you will see he's always thinking about something, some turn of a phrase. And it wasn't easy to work with him. He's a riot. He's sitting in front of him, and it's like we'd come up with like, all right, let's just do surf Nazis. Surf Nazi guy. That was just like he was coming up. Oh, we're thinking about like this man on a surfboard, and he should be holding a gun, and maybe going over a wave. There's got to be a girl there. He gives me all these ideas, and we kind of like, okay, I'll put a girl on a surfboard. He's going on like in my head. I'm thinking about it. So we're going back and forth creatively. This is not done, period, anywhere. Nobody does. Nobody works like this. But because he believes in the creative spirit, he just lets you, like riff off of his ideas and my ideas. Before you know it, we come up with, fun stuff, like Bloodhook. I mean, it's not even in the movie anywhere. Most of the stuff isn't in the movie. In fact, I never even seen most of them.
I was going to bring Bloodhook up. I'm glad that you did. That poster, first of all, like, it's super cool. I remember like seeing it in video stores and stuff. And so, I mean, are you familiar with, boutique media companies like Vinegar Syndrome or anything like that who are putting these movies out?
No.
Okay, so Vinegar Syndrome in particular is probably the biggest as far as collectors go. And their original archive store is in Connecticut. And I drove from Pennsylvania to Connecticut to check the store out and back in one day. It was a 13-hour drive just to go to this mecca of movies. But they have Bloodhook as a release, and everything that they put out is limited. So there's like 2,000 or 5,000 or 1,500 units or whatever, however special the release is. And Bloodhook, for the longest time, was one of the releases that was highly sought after. They've since done a reprint that's kind of brought the value down, but Bloodhook was going for like hundreds of dollars in the aftermarket. And I was just like going to point out that if you were aware of that, like how would you feel like knowing that something that you did is first of all, it's getting new life with a company like that, and that it's so sought after that people are dumping literally hundreds of dollars into an aftermarket on eBay to get something that has your artwork on it.
Wait, so the artwork is still on it?
Yeah, well, they do like reversible covers and stuff.
Uh-oh.
And slips and whatnot, but the actual artwork, it's definitely on there.
Wow.
And it's on the disc too. And so Bloodhook was, when I got into this a couple of years ago, the one that you had to get, and it was already sold out by the time I got into it. So yeah, like I said, they've since done a reprint that has like a slightly different, logo or something on the side of it to keep the original run special. But yeah, Bloodhook in particular.
The question is, you're definitely not getting royalties on this, are you?
No. But the only thing I can do, I can't sell the posters. I can't even sell the little 8x10s because of a contract. But I can sell my originals. So that's what I'm doing now. So the big sale is this Saturday, May 16th. So we'll see what happens. Bloodhook will be there. In all of its glory with the big poster. The poster I am giving away. So it is an original first edition print that was, I guess, 34 years ago, something like that. When it first came out, 87. So it's probably older than that. Anyway, so yeah, I'm giving that. I can't sell the poster, but I can give it away. So that's what I'm doing.
That's cool. Where are you doing that at?
This is at Gallery Blue Door in Baltimore. And yeah, it'll be up until August 1st. So yeah. So I'm excited. I can't wait to see it.
You technically can't sell the print, the poster itself, but could you sell tickets as like a bid, like a winner goes into like a winner's circle? Like, is there still a way to make that?
Get the poster?
Yeah.
The poster's free. I'm giving.
No, I know that. I was just saying that
You mean in
because of
general?
contract you couldn't sell it, but I was just thinking out loud, like, is there a way to skirt around that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just honoring what Lloyd said.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really have that many posters. I have a few that I have a few extra, but not really. And I kept them the best I could, but they're not in the best condition. But when you frame it, you know all the edges are covered. So I think it's really cool. I had sold 3 of my paintings, and the posters I think I gave with each one. I sold Surf Nazis. I sold Confederate something, kind of little Confederate something or other, and then Toxic Avenger 3. So yeah, so those are gone, and we'll see what happens on Saturday. I'm excited to see. This is a bucket list for me to have all of these paintings up next to the posters. That one, yeah, that's the one that sold. So
when you did the Toxic Avengers, had you seen any of the films prior to that, or is this all just done by just the communication between you and Lloyd?
it's Lloyd and I. Lloyd and I sitting around kibitzing, joking, and I think first of all, there wasn't really enough time for me to watch a film. I had to give him a product pretty quick, and these are all oil paintings, so they take a long time to do. They take about a month. Sometimes I could do it in a little, depends on how much. I am working on a Troma painting now that is like from hell. It's like so busy, so much. I don't know if you know the artist Francis Bacon, but you do know? Okay. Anyway,
I'm
giant.
not sure.
I know the historical figure Francis Bacon.
the man who, yeah, he's done. He's gone. He's
he's dead.
Yeah, he's an artist. Anyway, I have 2 of his giant meat slabs in the back. It's Poultrygeist 2.
You're doing the Poultrygeist 2 poster.
I am.
I have been following production on that because I love Poultrygeist, and this is been like
the biggest painting I think I've ever done.
I can imagine.
She wanted to create. Yeah, there you go.
This is some of Francis Bacon's work.
Yeah, if you could find the meat one. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, this man was tortured spirit. Yeah. So, oh yeah, look at this poor man.
This dude painted my dreams.
Oh yeah.
Right. These are the sleep paralysis demons. Yeah.
Dreams. But yeah, so I'm doing that now. But no, I'm thrilled that people. I didn't know people really were that interested. A few years ago, there was a man who realized that what I had, and he gave me the value for these paintings that I didn't know that they had any. I didn't know. I honestly didn't know. Like maybe 5 years ago, I had no idea that people were into Troma, that this was even a thing. So to hear from you and other people, and it totally blew up on Reddit. People were very excited. So it just was very affirming. I think, out of all the art I've done in my life, I think that on my epitaph, it'll be like, yeah, she was a Troma illustrator. I've done lots of things that I'm proud of, but it's interesting what you end up being known for. Not that I'm not proud. I'm very proud to have done this work, but I've done, as you saw, a lot of fine art as well. So
yeah, let's
take
a look at some of that.
Like, very impressive stuff.
Thank you.
Because like you have like actual painting artwork, and in fact, let me get in here. This one right here, the Night Song one, really caught my attention. Because it's almost done like in a classic like triptych style.
Yes. Yeah, I love that one. I found the frame. It's a porcelain frame with lots of little flowers, and I kept it for years and years, not knowing what I could put inside that. And it is a triptych.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've done that about.
Yeah. So, I did. knowing that now, like you actually made a legitimate triptych. Who now is making triptychs aside from, not many artists are.
Yeah, it's sad. People aren't really painting like they had been because, well, you have to make a living. And unless you're independently wealthy, it's very hard to just, pick up a brush and say, I'm going to make a triptych, you know, or any kind of painting, unless you're going to get paid for it. And nowadays, most of it's done virtually. It's done on the computer.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm very glad that I took 2 college level art classes that I know what a triptych is. I'm so happy that I was forced to take those courses.
I don't want to set JC off on another rant because we did this last week. But are you concerned with AI taking over some of the work or potential revenue as an artist that
well, I think it's pretty interesting that I think I'm retro. I think I've really come to the point that people like Mercedes the Muse from Troma wanted to hire me to do an oil painting. So they're paying me, basically what I've been paid years ago, but I'm happy to do it. Pay me well. They pay me very well. The thing is that she went out out of her way to find me. She in fact wanted me to work for her during the pandemic, but the film fell apart during that time, from what I understand, and then waited to have another film that would work for me, for her. So I'm not too worried because I still feel very original. I still find I can't. How does AI do an oil painting? It's still, could they make it look like an oil painting? Yeah, but how do they get the humor that Lloyd and I came up with? That creativity. I don't know. I would like that kind of thing. Maybe they could do that painting there. I could see AI doing that. It's a beautiful painting that's sold, but it's not like, I don't know. It's not like the movie posters that I've done. This is pretty unusual. This one sold too.
This was actually one of my favorites when I was looking at it. And I see, I'm not like a critic or like a psychologist or anything like that, but I see a lot of reoccurring theme in your art pieces with the self-healing. Because, not so much here, but I see it here.
Yes.
In restoration, again with the pangolin. I was kind of trying to call that out that there was a pangolin there.
I saw it too, but I wanted her to finish her point.
How do I go back? I like this one. I like anything that is reminiscence of early Renaissance artwork. Like this, especially things that are framed in pewter or porcelain or whatever it might be. Like even this, this is anyone can have a frame of something, right? But these are different. These are unique. There's not going to be, you could make a replica of this, but it's not going to be exactly the same. There's going to be chips. It's going to have personality. And that's also something that AI art is going to have. And I actually don't recall what I said about AI art on the last time. I don't know if I argued for or against it or was semi-supportive. But you can't get close to any form of emotion in AI artwork. You can make it look like there's emotion in it. But at the end of the day, it's still going to be something that a computer generated through a programming language that was spit out on a piece of paper and printed.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about AI. I let everyone else worry about it. I do my artwork. I have so many ideas. So yeah, I'm not so worried about it. How does AI come up with creative? This one's interesting. That last one is that was painted on antique wallpaper, and
wow.
It's gold, and he's supposed to look camouflaged. And the dogs really, when they're running around, that's the African wild dog. You'll see a lot of those in my work. I went to Africa a year and a half ago, and I got to see them do a kill. I used to think they were cute.
Oh, they're vicious, right? They hunt in packs, and then
yeah, really vicious. They are cute as puppies, but still, they're just merciless. The way they attack is just. I'm not even going to get into it. It's much worse than a wildcat.
Sure.
I do not remember the name of the website, but years ago, like maybe even prior to the 2020s, there was a website that you could go and just watch cams that they had set up in Africa. And they'd have them at like water holes or whatever. And you just, at any point in the day, you could just go watch Africa and like whatever animals were doing at the time. Right. And I spent a lot of bored downtime just watching animals do crazy shit in Africa.
Great.
Those things are
spend enough time looking. Like when we were on a safari, we just, the guy, it was just me and two other people and my husband and another woman, and you just sit there and you watch it, just like you said, like the camcorder. You can't believe that the lions are so close to you. So you're like, it's just like a couple of feet away, but they don't see you as prey because the truck, they somehow they just don't get it. Like if we took one step out of the truck, we're definitely prey. So that is a painting. Let me see. I'll talk about any one of those.
I like. Well, JC paused on that one for reasons.
Sorry,
so.
I was trying to. I'm trying. I'll talk to my counselor about this. No, I'm just trying to get through. Just kind of show them all off.
Oh no, but go right ahead. Whatever I'm good.
Do you have any models for this, or are you kind of creating
this particular one?
Just in general, he passed over one a while ago. I texted him to stay on it, and of course he didn't listen.
I didn't see it,
but the face was so realistic.
I know which one you're talking about, right there.
Yeah, well, that one plus the one in front of it.
This one?
No,
this one.
Yeah, right there.
Those two were models, actually. So I had that particular woman come to my studio. I don't know. I think I paid her like $75, and she just did what I asked her to do. To act like there's birds coming out of her hand. And the other girl, she was very young. She was like 17, maybe 16, and she was just so gorgeous. So the symmetry in both of those women's faces were just so perfect and so like. Sometimes even today, I walk around and I find people who I just think are just so gorgeous. It's like, I will, and I have asked people to model for me. Many of the people in the movie posters were just people I come across, and sometimes if I can't find somebody, I'll use myself. Like the poster in back of me, that's me with a boob job. So no, I'm attracted to, certain looks, in people, men, women, whatever, when I see somebody, if I can ask them to model for me, I do. So yeah, in that case, those two were definitely models. Sometimes they're just swipes out of a magazine, like for the movie posters. I might just stuff Stephanie into the Incinerator was a definite swipe from, I think, Penthouse, and Evil Clutch also. There's a few of them I just happen to remember. Yeah, that one. You could see. It's clear. By the way, I took images of each one of my girls that I illustrated for Troma, and I made a great little collage. I put it on Instagram, and I tried to boost it, and they wouldn't let me boost it because it had boobs and guns.
Wait a minute. Instagram is literally all boobs and guns. I'm on Instagram. I know for a fact that it's all boobs and guns.
That's true. My algorithm agrees.
Seriously.
Well,
And like I was just gonna say I don't even follow like any of those kind of pages, and it's still just fed to me all the time.
Go figure.
Yeah, they know what guys like apparently. But
Yeah.
also notice, Drew, she did not say that she wanted to ask us to be models here.
Oh, not yet.
I don't blame her.
Not yet. Next time I need a bearded man, we'll have to make sure we keep in contact.
Fat
I
bald
might,
slobs.
I might make you into an African wild dog.
I would be okay with that.
You know what I really appreciate about, say, this poster is that it looks so similar to the style of the Nancy Drews, or like that the illustrations that you did for family or children's books.
Mm-hmm.
And here it is, that same style on a Troma exploitation movie poster. And like that, you could, if you change some of the words on that poster, it could definitely pass as like
Nancy Drew?
Nancy Drew into the incinerator.
Gets picked into the incinerator. I love it. I love it. Oh, they're so careful. Nancy Drew people, they just, you cannot make her do anything that she's not. Her hair, her boyfriends, everything about it has to be just so. That's a very funny thing to think of Nancy Drew as this.
That would be a really good spoof if you wanted to run with a spoof.
Right. Well,
yeah. And on those last couple photographs we looked at before this, like, you were able to capture like the essence of those individuals. Like, I felt like I was looking at photographs. So I just wanted to kind of point that out, that I was really drawn to it. I could tell that you had actually used models for those, because it was
in particular. Yes.
Incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah, in particular, that one in particular, like I was like, is that like a still frame?
That one's interesting because besides the imagery, so I did that Kintsugi all over her body, and I think also some of the birds. So that's like the mending again, and the frame is really old and gold. Actually, in the old days, they put real gold leaf on the frame. So that one is gold leaf. Nice piece.
Do you have a certain animal that you prefer to?
Pangolin.
No.
Well, there's a few that there's obviously like quite a few with owls, or the pangolin, or the baboon kind of shows up a lot.
Yes. The African wild dog, I just love this animal, even though it really is the personification of, I feel, women, because it's both adorable and aggressive. And I just love that. And so I can resonate with that, because it's just, I like to think that, like, women are beautiful, and women can be powerful, and women can be vicious. Women can be many things. And I really related to that strongly as a metaphor for myself. But there are many other animals. The baboons I love because, well, basically they can also stand in for humans and human emotions. So I can do things with them that would be inappropriate, or maybe easier to swallow if it's done through an animal. So as an anthropomorphic animal, so I dress them up in clothing, and do all kinds of things with the monkeys that maybe wouldn't be as acceptable as a human. So I like using the monkeys. Plus, the monkeys have opposable thumbs and can hold a martini glass. So there's always that.
It's my favorite kind of monkey.
Yeah.
Happy hour monkeys.
Exactly.
But yeah, Are there any? Okay, so
I'm looking at the etchings here.
Oh yeah,
I guess I'm
that
still on it here. Yeah, here's
is
a
that
that's the
African wild dog. Yeah,
And then if you keep going over, I think there was the that's my dog. There's my dog. Um,
there's the model working for free.
and that's it, sitting at the breakfast waiting for the second cup of coffee. That one I really like. That's called the maned. It's a maned wolf, and he's got super super long legs, the longest leg of any canine. And he's just so creepy. I just love him.
that uh that wolf
Oh yeah, they do have
has
very long legs.
created. There are several like cryptid sightings
Cryptids, yeah.
that are because of this animal.
Hmm.
Like people see it and they think of like a chupacabra or other creatures in the cryptid world, and it is
in a very not so long ago past, our podcast was focused on cryptids and the supernatural and that. So it always, when we see things like this, it brings back those memories.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I would definitely agree that some of these animals are like spirit animals, and the way this one moves is very. If you go on YouTube and see how these guys move, it is kind of freaky.
I mean, this image in particular, I don't know if JC will feel it or if you will get the reference, but it's just something about it makes me think of John Redcorn from King of the Hill.
King of the Hill.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just what I'm getting when I see this. It's like this looks like something John Redcorn would have on his wall.
For comparison, the main wolf is actually beautiful, but its legs are so weird.
Yeah, like how do you get him to move? Like almost like ballerinas, but not. It's like it looks
like how does it stay stable? Because it says they can actually reach speeds of up to 20 miles an hour when they're running.
Huh. Wow. The head looks so small, a fox head.
Yeah, right. That's I'm gonna have nightmares now, but
well, I saw that you had done a couple of foxes too.
Oh yeah.
I think.
So.
Some more owls.
Lycanthropy, foxes. Let me look down here.
Oh yeah,
there's one.
Yes. Yeah, this is it was done a while ago. So this was when I was really into environmental kind of philosophies and conservation. So he's just living with paper flying all around him. It's a fairly large etching. Etchings take a long time to make. It's made on a copper plate and it's engraved with tools, and sometimes it has a surface on it that is like asphalt, and you carve into it. And then there's many different ways you can play around with copper to get different surfaces and different textures. So
yeah, I think historically it was everything was etched in copper and then it was dipped in ink and then pressed, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, ink was rubbed on and then rubbed off.
Oh, rubbed on. Okay, yeah.
You got it. And then and you put it through the press. I do have an etching press in back of my computer. I have a whole my studio has. I can make etchings. I could do sculptures and paint. So it took me many years to get to this point, but
yeah, wow.
Yeah, aqua tin box, and yeah, it's a lot. Kilns, 3 kilns. So yeah, it's like, when I'm done with this painting, I'm going to be like, okay, what do I feel like doing? Do I want to make an etching? Do I want to make, a sculpture? So, but I do have a commission, so another one after this, so I might have to do that.
How often do you make pieces of artwork, whether they're paintings, sculptures, whatever they might be? Like,
how often do I?
We'll say in the course of a year. I'm just trying, because obviously there's a lot of time in that goes into these. It's not something you can just whip out in like a couple of days or a week, right?
how many do I make in a year? Or
In general, how
oh.
any piece of artwork?
Generally speaking, my art takes me about a month. Rather, if it's a sculpture or a painting, yeah, it takes me about a month. The etchings don't take as long, probably half as long. So yeah, I would say, I would like to think that they put out about 12 a year, but probably less. Yeah. But
And I say this as I'm looking at a 3D printer off to my right that is covered in cobwebs and dust.
uh-huh. Okay. Oh, maybe that's a good thing.
Probably. I made like 4 things with it, and I was like, okay, well, that's about as cool as that's going to be.
Yeah. But
Yeah, I have a cricket over here that has never been touched.
A cricket? A what?
Yeah. It's a cricket.
what?
It's like it's like it's a printer essentially.
Oh, okay.
It's
just like the name of the
Oh, I see.
the brand name.
Oh, it's the brand
cricket.
name. I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I know. Yeah.
I always was. I've never done anything other than art, so I wouldn't even know where to begin, other than what I've always done. So it was sort of like written on my forehead somewhere. Just, I'd be the kid in the back of the class playing with making origami out of gum wrappers, or taking in the old days with Wrigley's spearmint gum. I remember taking the aluminum foil off, and then it's like slightly sticky, and then putting it onto the table. Yeah. It just like, I would be obsessed like with little things until finally someone gave me a piece of clay, and I'd be like, oh, wow, look what I made. I made myself a little toy. I made myself a thing. But to make as an artist, you're like gods, because it didn't exist before. So you feel the ego is very connected to artists. Like every morning, it's important for me to be here, to be in my studio, because it would be hard for me to separate me from my art.
Okay, so here's an ego question then. No, you're laughing, but trust me, just wait for it. Is it maybe kind of self-therapeutic to have that as an avenue for you to kind of keep the human ego in check, so that maybe it isn't intrusive in the rest of your day-to-day life?
No, I think it's just so intertwined in who I am that it's not like in check. It's just more of a venue. It's sort of like you have the wine and the glass. They're meant to go together. Like, I can't imagine to have ever been anything other than that. And I guess my ego is enough that I create these pieces, but I would highly not recommend being an artist to people who, you have to have an ego that is extremely strong, because you constantly get rejected, constantly. And you can't let it affect you or your artwork. You have to be strong, strong enough as an artist to be able to withstand that. And I'm kind of happy neither one of my daughters became an artist, although they're both very artistic, but they chose not to. They probably saw me and like, let's just stay away from that. But yeah, you have to have a very strong ego to be an artist. So it's tricky. It's not highly recommended.
I feel like a fraud anytime I try to do anything. So
well, we all do. When I first started out, I was totally a fraud. Everyone's a fraud. Everyone's like, you come out there and you have an ego, and you're like, this is who I say I am. It's like
it's like this walking contradiction almost, where like you're like, I'm 100% great at this and I'm the best at this, but as soon as I do it, I'm like, oh man, that sucks. I should just quit and go hang myself.
Nah, you can't.
No.
Don't be a regular fine artist.
Well,
you'd be hanging.
That right there was a YouTube strike, by the way, Drew. Thanks.
Well, I will we'll bleep it. I was just making a joke, but just to kind of like communicate how like I am not anywhere close to this as an artist, but even like when I'm doing something and I know it slaps, I'll put it out. I'm like, yeah, well, I suck anyway, so what does it matter?
Everybody, as they always said, everybody's an artist when they're a child, right? It just people are told to stop doing it and grow up. It's like stop dancing, stop, being an actor, stop creating with clay. It's like you got to get back to reality, and find yourself a career. So my parents never said that to me. They were very supportive. They probably knew I was hopeless. The only thing I could do is art. So my father, when I was quite young, built me a studio, and in the basement, of course. And because I was making a mess everywhere, and finally he says, "Okay, in the basement with you. Here, we'll give you this room." So they gave us. I was then. Then I felt like then I was. It does help to be supported. It does help to have someone say that you're good enough. Keep going. And I've had many people help me with that. Push me or just suggest that this is great, or this is, just keep going and try this. But you have to have your own inertia and also not fear rejection. It's not about you, it's about the art. And just because the art didn't fit that person, it likely could fit the next person. So, and that's just fine art, but illustration that's just like you were saying, like a game of, almost like you're just lucky. You just keep going, keep, persevering. And somebody eventually is going to take you, maybe they'll take you on because they like your personality, or they'll take you on because one little thing in your portfolio caught their eye.
I love this piece that we're looking at right here with him sitting on the skateboard in the backwards hat.
Yeah, that's abstinence, and he's abstaining from those delicious foods. And in his backpack, he's got celery and a fish and some other healthy things. Yeah, you can see that.
Yeah, that's awesome. But speaking of fries, I have to ask you, you have what looks like a McDonald's fry on your wall.
I saw that too.
Yeah. I think it's artistically beautiful. I think it's so cool. I mean, I got that for this particular sculpture. It's funny that you put that together. I went out and actually got a Mickey D, and I didn't know what the boxes looked like. So there you go. So sometimes you have to eat your references.
I think there's almost like a nostalgic art just to something like that. Like, the way that McDonald's containers used to look. Like they've changed over the years, and I don't even really eat McDonald's, but like the art or just kind of general presentation of most things is just so dull and gray now compared to when I was a kid 20, 30 years ago. And even something as simple as like the fry container doesn't look the same that it used to look.
Did it used to have like a lid on it or something? I don't even know. So it was more colorful, you're saying?
Yeah, everything about it was more colorful. And I don't know. There's like a weird dichotomy to how businesses have just kind of, probably because of financing companies and stuff, and how everybody's just kind of backed by the same giant 3 billionaires now. But everything's just kind of built so that it could be turned into something else when whatever it is no longer.
There you go.
But yeah, so that's like, I don't know. To me, that just kind of
it's a fry box from '93, and before this, they were like they had stripes on them. I was trying to find a good example of one. But even now, they're just kind of like, do they even have the logo on them anymore now? It's just like a red. It's like a red box.
This one has an M, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember last time I had McDonald's fries.
I know, right?
What
Now,
they look like.
now you're thinking about them.
Well, now I'm gonna Uber Eats about $40 worth of McDonald's.
Hey, if you ever want to paint somebody hating their lives, you can definitely watch me eat a handful of McDonald's.
I love that.
Uh,
There you go.
like we could turn that into your next.
Well,
Uh,
I did do one called Gluttony, and I'm pretty
Oh
much
yeah,
to redo it. So I think I might have to take you up on that one. But I
I'll
might have to
suffer
make
the
you
consequences.
I have to make you into a baboon though, so it'll look something.
I thought I saw
But
it in here.
so we hit the hour mark,
Yeah.
and we tend to not like to keep people longer than that. We all like my thing is if we get along and we have a good time, I'd rather have people come back and have another hour, than sit down for 2 hours and bore our guests.
Wonderful.
So when we end the show, we always, just like to reiterate that the guest is here and, they can promote anything that they want to promote. So I know you had mentioned it earlier in the show, but anything that you want to promote that, isn't already on the screen, or even if we want to, reiterate for any audio listeners or whatever, the floor is yours to do so.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I guess I would talk about my show coming up. That's at Gallery Blue Door, and it's this May 16th, this Saturday from 4 to 6. I would love it if someone would to see this and go down there and take a look. It's there until August 1st. And then after that, I don't know, it might go to the auction house. So maybe you ought to come on down. And if you don't, this is it. Or worse, I don't know what's going to happen with these paintings. But Bloodhook is there waiting for people to see. At the very least, come and see it.
Awesome. Yeah. And yeah, definitely check out the boutiques. The companies are Troma's really hot with that right now. You could probably, make some spare dough, just signing some of those covers.
What was that called? Vinegar or something?
Vinegar Syndrome is one of them, but you know what I can do is I can shoot you a message with a bunch of them. One right now is Refuse. We're gonna have the guy who created that company on here in about a week or two as well.
Liam?
He had
Liam
yeah.
Liam
His name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did a post.
Yeah, oh, you did? Cool. Yeah, so we're gonna have him on within a week or two.
Oh,
yeah.
Tell him I said hi. I did
I will.
Eating Miss Campbell.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate you highlighting my artwork. There it is. Fun. That was a fun one. A little awkward. Naked lady in the kitchen, but not half as awkward as this next one. Wait till you see this next one. Oh my God, it is insane. This is the craziest painting I've ever done. Poltergeist, the Dawn of the Chicken Dead, or Dawn of the Dead. It's wait. You guys are gonna say, "Yep, you're right. This is crazy."
I'm excited for it.
Anthropomorphic chicken with a gorgeous body. Okay, you're gonna have sleep paralysis with this one tonight.
It's one of my favorite Troma movies, the first one. But yeah, so
thank you.
Has the artwork already been released for it?
I'm still doing it.
Okay, because I found an image. I was just making sure you didn't make it. This wasn't the one.
No.
Okay.
No. It's next to me over here. I'm not. Yeah, it's.
Yeah. No. Finished. I got you. I just wanted to make sure I didn't show anything that wasn't the right thing.
That's good. Thank you again.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Check out the artwork. Check out the gallery, or show up. Support.
It was the blue Blue Gallery in Baltimore, Maryland.
Yes, Gallery Blue Door.
Gallery Blue Door. Okay.
33 Park Avenue in Mount Vernon, in Baltimore, and but also check out my website, triciazimic.com.
and Facebook, Instagram, and I'm
Yep,
sure there's
all
probably
that.
some other places as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank
Cool. Thank you. And on that note, here is the worst outro in the history of podcasts.
Love